Hi, I'm Mike with Homes Quality Products. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I personally manage multiple credit cards. So I've said before I have like 40 plus credit cards. The way I manage it is really simple. If you do it the way I'm going to tell you how I do it, you're going to put money back in your pocket. You're not going to pay interest. So I'm going to explain to you and if anybody else has another way of doing it, how they manage their cards, multiple cards, leave it in the comment down below. I'm curious how other people do it. But for me, it's really simple. Whether I have a credit card or not, I use a checkbook ledger. Now, not a physical checkbook. I actually use an app on my phone. Maybe I'll throw some screenshots from their actual app on the Apple Store. But they also have it. I had when I had an Android phone. I did the same thing. I've done this for many, many years. So all I do is, and it doesn't matter, I can switch up credit. I can go today, put down these 3 or 4 cards, pick up 3 or 4 more cards, and I don't have to readjust anything because the way I do it, it'll work no matter what cards I'm using. I can swap them in and out however I want to. And sometimes I like to change up the strategy, try something different so I can give advice to you guys or tell you what works or what doesn't work or what worked for me may not work for you, just to give you guys some idea. Because not everybody has, well, most people don't have that many cards, so they can't use them the way I do. Anyway, so back to what I do, it's very simple. When it comes to my personal account, when I swipe a card, I deduct it from the ledger. So example, if I go get $20 in gas right now, I'll deduct $20. I actually round up. So if I got $19.70, I deduct $20 out of my checkbook ledger. And what that does is that gives that 30 cent kind of like put off to the side just in case I ever made a mistake or something like that. I forgot to ring up an energy drink or something. And I have something that's kind of covered it. But it's also good that there was one time where I actually sat down and like seen how much extra I had. And I had gained over $1,000 just by putting 30 cents, 60 cents, stuff like that. And I needed it for something at that time. So this was many years ago, but it helped me through that time. So anyway, so what I do is I use a ledger. So if I go get to McDonald's and I spend $14.60, I go on my ledger and I put food, dining out, McDonald's, $15. I just round it up to the next dollar. And I just do that for every transaction. If I go to Walmart and I grab, say, groceries from Walmart and I spend $77.50, I'll put $78 groceries. So now you're going to have a breakdown where your money's going, how much you spend on groceries, how much you spend on fast food, how much you spend on gas. You have a breakdown, you have a log, you can see it. And the thing is when I go to pay that card, it's already accounted for. So if I use my gold card, for example, and I went and I bought dining out and I went and got some groceries and I spent $200 or $300, right? I just have it set up to automatically pay the whole card because I've already deducted the money from my ledger, from my checking account. So it's already accounted for. And then if I use like my Citi card and I'm getting gas and I'm using my Verizon card, every one of those cards, it's in my ledger. So I just set them up to pay the whole statement balance and I don't have to worry about it because I've accounted for every one of those dollars. So if you use a ledger, you can track your money, see where it's going. You can switch cards. If I say I don't want to use a gold card, I want to use a Saver one, or I want to use something else, it doesn't matter because I'm doing it the same way. And every one of those cards is set up for auto pay the full balance. Now, with that being said, I usually pay them all every other week. So like every 2 weeks, I just go through and pay the complete balance. But worst case scenario, I don't have to. I've got it set up to pay the whole statement balance. So I know people that just log into their account are like, oh, I got money, I'm good. Sometimes there's people I've met that, have plenty of money and they don't ever even think about it, right? And then there's other people I know that they're on a tight budget and they're struggling. I was like, well, you could use credit cards and treat it like cash and still work within the same budget. But even if you just had one card and it was a 2% card, every $100 you spend, you get $2 back. It's not a whole lot, but it adds up. Then you use a high yield savings and whatever you've been putting back for your savings, it's building interest. So you save a few free dollars from the cash back you're getting from the card, and then you're getting a few dollars from interest, and it starts accumulating over time. So anyway, I might throw up a couple of screenshots of a Ledger app. You can, whether you're using your Android or you're using iOS, there's apps to use. There's free ones, there's paid ones, whatever you want to use. Find you an app, track your money. When you get a deposit, also, like I told you with when I spend money, I round it up. So it's $21.33. I just deduct 22. I do the same thing if I add money. So if I add, $100.55, I'll just put in add $100. So I round up and down. Now, when the app I used to use, well, I still use it now, but I had separate for business and personal, and it was all on the same app. So I just click it, put my information in. Business stuff, I was more exact. I put exactly what I spent because it's a nice log that you can, usually on most of these apps, you can export it as a PDF or a spreadsheet or something, and you have like something that somebody else can go through and kind of read and compare things to. If you're just logging into your account to see what you spend or haven't spent, one, if you're using credit cards, you're going to make it really complicated because maybe your checking account's through Capital One, but you're using an American Express card or a Citi card or whatever. So you haven't accounted for this money and you're spending it. So you went and bought this TV that was a couple grand, you went and did this and that. So you just spent $5,000. So your account, you only had this much amount in it and you haven't been accounting for it. So use a ledger and you've already accounted for it and you don't have to think about it. Another thing, when people don't use that and they just go by their card, their debit account or checking account, sometimes a transaction, especially when you get fuel, if you use your debit card and you get fuel, something may be on hold for a little bit. I've also had it happen just randomly at certain places where a transaction was pending for 5 to 7 days, and so it's not adding up right. Like I said, if you don't keep enough money in your account, stuff like that can make you overdraft and have other issues too. But it's simple. And at first it's like kind of a pain to go in and like you pull up to the gas station. So when I get done pumping gas, before I take off, I'll spend, realistically, it probably takes me five seconds, maybe 10, but still something you have to get used to stopping. Okay, I just got fuel at Speedway, $21. So I'll actually click all the boxes because I want to know where I spent it, what it was for, and how much it was. And that way I can look at a pie graph or something later on and be like, oh yeah, I'm spending a little heavy this month and this or that. But anyway, try using Checkbook Ledger. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you want me to explain something, maybe a little more in depth, just leave it in the comments below also. I'll make a short or something. If you do something different that works for you, that's really easy and smooth and efficient, let me know. Like I said, most people don't have 40 plus credit cards. And like I said, I could switch up twice in this 1 week to try different strategies on something. But I don't have to think about it because I use the same Ledger app all the time. Anyways, remember, like I say, treat your credit like cash. Only spend what you have. I don't want you guys going in debt. I don't want you having any of these type of issues. I want you guys to get free cash back, free travel, and things for free. Hopefully this gives you a quick idea of how I manage my money, simple way to do it. I think it's a good habit, good practice anyway. It's nice to see where your money's going, how you're spending it, what's going on with everything. And if you are trying to get new cards or shuffle multiple cards to get these points or those points or this cash back, it takes away a lot of the thinking. Auto pay, statement balance, and then use a ledger. It'll all take care of itself. So you don't have to overthink it. Anyway, if you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.